You carefully save money every single month, yet your financial future somehow refuses to look different despite all the discipline, sacrifice, and consistency you proudly maintain. Every payday convinces you that saving more money must eventually create wealth, yet every passing year quietly leaves you wondering why genuine financial freedom still feels distant. You have probably blamed your income, rising expenses, or unexpected emergencies, although none of those explanations fully reveal what is actually happening beneath your decisions. The uncomfortable truth is that your saving habit may be protecting your money while quietly preventing it from creating the life you actually want. How can doing something financially responsible become the very reason lasting wealth never seems to arrive? This is Unspoken Finance, where financial psychology, behavioral finance, and practical personal finance come together to explain why you make certain money decisions and how small changes create lasting financial freedom. If understanding your financial behavior matters to you, subscribe because every conversation helps you build a healthier relationship with money and a stronger financial future. You probably know the satisfaction of watching your account balance slowly increase after another month of discipline and careful spending. For a brief moment, seeing those numbers grow makes you feel responsible, secure, and convinced you are finally moving toward financial success. Then life quietly interrupts your confidence through rising bills, family responsibilities, unexpected repairs, medical expenses, or another situation demanding money you worked hard to protect. You withdraw part of your savings, promise yourself you will replace everything quickly, and begin another cycle that feels strangely familiar despite your best intentions. Months quietly become years, and although your saving habit remains remarkably consistent, your financial life rarely feels dramatically stronger than it once did. You begin questioning yourself because disciplined people are supposed to become financially successful, yet your experience seems to tell a completely different story. That confusion creates something even more dangerous than financial frustration because it slowly convinces you that building wealth simply requires earning much more money. That sounds believable, yet millions of people earning higher incomes experience the exact same cycle without ever creating meaningful financial independence. The obvious explanation feels comforting because it allows you to blame circumstances instead of examining the invisible financial habits quietly shaping your future every single day. The real reason hides much deeper inside your psychology, and once you recognize it, your entire understanding of saving begins to change. Your brain naturally rewards safety much faster than growth because survival has always mattered more than long-term wealth throughout human history. Every time you move money into savings, your brain experiences emotional relief because uncertainty suddenly feels smaller, even when your financial position barely changes. That emotional reward becomes surprisingly addictive because feeling safe produces immediate satisfaction while building wealth usually requires patience without instant emotional feedback. Without realizing it, you slowly begin chasing the feeling of security instead of intentionally building financial freedom. That is why checking your savings balance often feels emotionally satisfying, even though those numbers alone may not be moving your life meaningfully forward. Your brain quietly mistakes stored money for growing wealth because both appear similar on the surface, although they produce completely different long-term financial outcomes. Saving protects the money you already earned, but wealth grows because money eventually begins working harder than you do. That difference sounds simple, yet it completely changes how financially successful people think about every single naira entering their lives. Here is another surprising pattern that most people never notice until many valuable years have already passed. The more comfortable you become seeing money sit safely inside one account, the more difficult it becomes to let that money perform meaningful work elsewhere. Your brain begins treating every investment opportunity as a threat instead of recognizing carefully planned investing as one of the primary engines of wealth creation. You hesitate before investing because losing 1,000 naira feels emotionally stronger than gaining 10,000 later, even when logic says otherwise. Behavioral finance calls this loss aversion, but you experience it simply as fear disguised as responsibility. That fear quietly encourages you to delay investing until you feel completely ready, completely informed, and completely financially secure. Unfortunately, that perfect moment almost never arrives because every new financial milestone simply creates another reason to wait a little longer. Years later, you discover something painful because your savings successfully protected your money, yet they never gave your money the opportunity to multiply itself. This is why two people saving identical amounts can end up living completely different financial lives after 10 or 20 years. One person saves with only protection in mind, while the other deliberately saves with preparation in mind. Protection asks, how do I avoid losing this money? While preparation asks, how can this money eventually create more money? That single difference transforms thousands of ordinary financial decisions into completely different long-term outcomes. The goal is not saving less, because saving remains one of the strongest financial habits you can develop throughout your lifetime. The goal is understanding that saving should become the beginning of your financial system instead of the final destination. Start by giving every saved amount a specific job before you ever transfer it into an account. Build an emergency fund that exists only to protect your daily life from unexpected financial shocks and unnecessary debt. Create another fund dedicated entirely to future opportunities, such as learning valuable skills, starting a business, or increasing your ability to earn more income. Most importantly, begin directing part of your monthly savings toward productive assets capable of generating future growth instead of simply preserving today's purchasing power. That could include diversified long-term investments, retirement accounts where available, or other carefully researched assets matching your financial goals and personal risk tolerance. Notice the difference, because you are no longer asking your savings account to perform every financial responsibility by itself. Instead, each portion of your money serves a different purpose, creating a complete financial system instead of one oversized safety net. Another powerful habit involves asking one simple question before saving any additional money every single month. Ask yourself whether this money is only protecting today's problems or also helping create tomorrow's opportunities. That single question gradually shifts your attention from fear-driven decisions toward purpose-driven financial planning without requiring dramatic lifestyle changes. As the months pass, something remarkable begins happening, because your financial confidence no longer depends entirely upon the size of your savings balance. Instead, confidence grows because you understand exactly where your money is going, what every naira is accomplishing, and how each decision supports your future. You stop measuring progress only by how much money you successfully avoid spending and begin measuring progress by how effectively your money creates future possibilities. Eventually, your relationship with money changes completely, because you stop seeing yourself as someone desperately protecting every naira from loss. You become someone intentionally deploying every naira toward greater security, stronger opportunities, and lasting financial independence. That transformation rarely happens overnight, although it always begins with one important realization. Saving money protects your future, but only purposeful financial behavior gives your future the opportunity to become dramatically different. The hidden reason your saving habit never builds real wealth is not because saving is wrong, but because protection without purpose eventually becomes financial stagnation. Once your savings become the foundation for investing, growing skills, creating opportunities, and building productive assets, every financial decision starts working together instead of standing still. If this conversation helped you see your money differently, take a moment to like this video, because someone else may need this perspective today. Subscribe to Unspoken Finance for more insights into financial psychology, behavioral finance, and practical personal finance that help you make wiser financial decisions with lasting confidence. Before you leave, comment the single word purpose, because wealth begins growing the moment your money finally receives a mission instead of merely a hiding place.